Good morning, and thanks a million for joining me on the mat today for day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas yoga. We are going to again continue to create that lovely opening heart space, loads of energy within the body, and hopefully pack in as much as we can into our 15 minutes today. Again, feedback is welcome at any stage, so please do give me a message if there's anything that you would particularly like to see in these short sessions. We're nearly halfway, guys, so you're doing great. So we're going to come to sit back on the heels this morning. Again, this can be a little bit uncomfortable depending if we're a little bit tight in the hips, the quads, the calves, or the ankles. So you can always make them a wee bit more accessible by rolling up a little towel or something, placing it underneath the knee gap just to take the pressure off the knees. And likewise for the ankles, you could roll up a similar towel or cushioning and just place them in front of the ankles, just allowing us to sit back in the heels a wee bit easier. We're going to open the palms and we start with our 3 nice active opening breaths. Draw the chest forward, sink the shoulders back, and really soak the belly button in. Try to get rid of that rib cage flaring out here. So we're really engaging the core. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling, and then exhale, press the palms forward, really stretching between the shoulders. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, take the gaze up, and then interlock fingers, press palms forward as we take the gaze forward and release. We do 1 more here, trying to get those arms right back in line with the ears. And then exhale, press forward and release. From here, we're going to come straight up onto the knees. Knees are about hip-width distance apart. We're pressing the hips forward until the hips are in line with the knees. So we're trying not to sink back too much toward the heels here. And even just swaying forward and back until you find that nice comfortable spot. Nice way of engaging the core here as well. We're going to bring the hands to the waist. We're going to step the right foot out to the right. Again, try to keep that left hip bone in line with the knee. And we're going to really press the outer blade of that right foot into the ground. Feel a nice stretch into the outer leg. Right hand rests in the waist. We're going to inhale left arm up, flip the palm to the right, and as we exhale, stretch that left arm all the way over to the right. See if we can keep that arm nice and active and really draw the arm back in line with the ear. So we're not crossing the arm across the body here. We're going to take the gaze up toward the left fingertips. As we inhale, stretch to the left arm. As we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the right as we press the hips to the left. 1 more breath here. And then slowly inhale back to center. As we exhale, we're going to place that left hand down on the ground beside us. And notice if we collapse into the front of the body, we might need to come up onto the fingertips here. If we have a block-like object, like a book or a block itself, we can always place the hand onto it. We're going to really press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, extend the right arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, extend that right arm overhead. Again, really pressing the outer blade of that right foot into the ground. Feeling that stretch, the full right side of the body, taking the gaze up toward the right hand, pause for 3, stretch and reach for 2, and 1. We're going to be a little bit more active here. As we inhale, we're going to draw the right elbow, right knee in toward each other, maybe to touch. Exhale, extend it out, hovering the right foot off the ground. Inhale it in. Exhale, extend. If you want to challenge the balance, we can follow the middle finger in that right hand with the gaze. Nice and slow. Getting a little bit of activation of those core muscles. Feeling that glute engage. And again, just work it as deep as you can this morning. Don't battle through it. Last one. Rest of the foot down. We're going to bring the right hand back to the waist, slowly inhale back to center. Both hands are on the waist now, and then we're going to flip the palms forward, extending the arms. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. And as we exhale, we're going to reach the arms forward as we sit back toward that left heel. So we might untuck the toe if it feels good. So reach, try to keep that spine long. And then we're going to rest the finger pads down onto the ground, really pressing the outer blade of that foot into the ground. Inhale, draw the chest forward, sink the shoulders back. And as we exhale, maybe walk those hands forward a little bit more, resting the head here for 1 more breath. Slowly tuck the chin in. We're going to walk those hands back toward the body. Staying back in that heel, we're going to pivot on the right heel and draw the right toe toward the face. And with the right hand, we're going to keep the spine long. We're going to just reach toward that toe. So our hand might be on our thigh, might be on our shin. It might be on the toe. If it's on the toe, we're going to interlock the middle of the next finger and just draw that left shoulder back. So we're trying to keep that space. We're not collapsing forward. Take the gaze over the left shoulder for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release back to center. We can bring the hands to the mat here to help us. Dropping that right foot down, we're going to slowly come back. Tucking the left toe under, slowly rising back up to center. And then we're going to bring that right knee back in to meet left. Same little sequence on the other side when you're ready. So toes are tucked or flattened out, whatever feels good. Sometimes tucking the toes takes the pressure off the knees. So we're going to step that left foot out to the left. Both hands are in the hips, left hand stays in the hip. We're going to inhale, right arm up. Flip the palm to the left, and as we exhale, extend that right arm all the way over to the left, taking the gaze up toward that right middle finger if we can. We're going to inhale, reach through the fingertips. As we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the left, pressing that right hip to the right. Feel that lovely release in the inner thigh for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to center. As we exhale, we're going to place that right hand down on the ground beside us. So again, if we find we're collapsing, come up onto the finger pads or maybe some kind of object, just so that we can keep creating that lovely space in the front of the body, engagement in the back. So again, keep pressing the hips forward. We're going to inhale, left arm up. As we exhale, extend that left arm out in front. So create a lovely straight line from the outer blade of that left foot all the way through to the fingertips. Maybe take the gaze up here. Stretch, try and create as much space as we can through the left side of the body for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, left elbow, left knee in toward each other. Exhale, extend it out, hovering that left foot off the ground. Inhale it in. Exhale, extend it out. Continue with your own breath. So we're trying to create length and space both into the left side of the body and the front of the body here. Engagement in the core. If you want to really challenge that balance, we're following the middle finger on that left hand of the gaze. And just even notice how it feels compared to the other side. Is a little bit easier, is a little bit more resisted. Last one. Ending in extension, we're going to drop the left foot down, bring that left hand back to the waist. Slowly engage in the core, bring ourselves back to center, both hands on the waist. And then we're going to drop the arms, flip the palms forward, inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. As we exhale, we're going to reach those arms forward as we sit back toward that right heel. Now we don't have to come all the way to the ground. We might pause here and just really stretch through the arms. If we're getting toward the ground, we might sit back toward that heel, resting the finger pads out in front. Again, really pressing the outer blade of that left foot into the ground. We're going to inhale, draw the chest forward, sink the shoulders back. And as we exhale, walk those hands forward a little bit more. Rest the head, rest the neck. We're going to pause here. Every inhale, think about lengthening through the spine, really sitting back toward those heels. Every exhale, drop it a little bit forward into that fold. One more breath. Slowly tuck the chin in. We're going to walk the hands back toward that right knee. Sitting back on the heel here, we're going to pivot on the left heel and draw those left toes toward the face. And that might be as far as we go. We don't need to reach here at all if that feels enough. If we want, again, right hand on the shoulder. And we're just going to shimmy that left hand along the leg. Maybe it gets to the toe, maybe it doesn't. If it gets to the toe, we're going to interlock the middle of the next finger around that, and we're going to draw that right shoulder back. Taking the gaze over the right shoulder. So hand to shoulder, maybe hand to the back of the head if we want to create a little bit more space for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release. We're going to come back to center. Maybe slightly lean forward onto those fingers. Drop that left foot down and slowly bring ourselves back to center. And then when we're ready, we're going to bring that left knee back in to meet the right with control. Turning to the front of the mat, if we're on a mat. We're going to come on to all fours, hands and knees. Knees are about hip width distance apart. We're going to bring those hands a little bit further forward of the shoulders. Tuck both toes under. We're going to gently press the ground away and sit back toward the heels, resting the forehead down toward the ground. And just pause here for 3. Allow the chest release, the belly release for 2. And 1. We're going to press the hands into the ground, gently hover the knees off the mat, lift the hips toward the ceiling, and then lower those heels down toward the mat, and then slowly paddle out the feet, nice and easy in our downward dog. Press the ground away, draw the chest toward the mat. Lift those hips a little bit higher, drop those heels a little bit lower, and then slowly we're going to look forward and gently walk away to the front of the mat. Coming into a nice wide-legged forward fold. From here, we're actually going to bring those feet as wide as we can until we can touch the finger pads down without curling through the spine. So those feet might be really wide. They might only be slightly more than hip width distance apart. So depending on where those hamstrings and that lower back is at. We're going to keep the left finger pads at center. Flip the right palm to face us. And then inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling. Open the heart nice and wide. Take the gaze up. As we exhale, forward fold. Right finger pads on the ground. Inhale, left arm up and open. Trying to create space in the heart. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, right arm up and open. Twist here. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm up and open. Exhale, fold. 2 more, both sides. Follow the arm with the gaze. If you want to challenge the balance and get a little bit of mobility into that neck and upper spine. Last one, really releasing on that exhale. We're going to meet in a forward fold. Just let everything hang out here. Gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly rise our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. And then gently shimmy those feet together. Lovely. From here, just a little standing pose to finish it. So we're going to work on our tree pose this morning. We're not going to hold it too long, but it is something that I'll encourage you to come back into yourself. So we're going to come to a nice solid surface. So my mat's not that squidgy, so it's perfectly fine. If yours is quite foamy or if you're on a carpet, maybe you want to come to a harder surface just to help with the balance. Feet about hip width distance apart, hands to hips. We're going to rotate that right hip open and we're going to place that right heel just above the left ankle. Just notice if that left hip pops out, we're going to pop it right back in. So we want those hips to be even. Notice if the right knee is forward, we want to engage that right glute to open the hip. And that might be as far as we go. Just make sure we're not turning the body to the right. Hips are face forward. We might go a little bit more. We might bring that right foot to rest in the calf, or we might bring that right foot to rest in the upper inner thigh. Now, if you feel quite unbalanced this morning, feel free to have a wall or a table close by that you can kind of tip the hand off and then gradually tip it a little bit less. We're going to bring the hands to heart here. Find a point to fix your gaze. So a drishti point in yoga, something still. It could be where the ceiling meets the wall, or maybe where the wall meets the floor, or just some random object out in front. Try to sink those shoulders back. So really relax the upper body here, draw the belly button in. So we're not going to go into our full tree this morning. Just bring a little bit of stillness, a little bit of groundedness, and we will come back into this pose over the 12 days. Lovely grounding pose. Relax the breath. One more breath here. And then gently, we're going to bring that right knee forward and slowly release and let it go. We can shake the foot out if we need to. And we're going to come right over to the other side. So feet are nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to hips. Again, we're going to rotate that left hip open, resting the heel just above the ankle. And again, notice if that right hip pops out, we're going to pop it back in again. Left hip is rotating, so that knee is facing toward the left side of the room. Again, really spreading through that grounding foot. So think about the roots of your trees. We're going to bring the left sole of the foot to rest on the calf or maybe the upper inner thigh. Just make sure it's not on the knee itself. So we don't want any lateral pressures on our knees. And again, notice if that knee started to track forward as we bring the foot up the leg. Maybe just bring the foot down until you can get that nice space back in the hips. Again, from here, We're going to bring the hands to heart, draw the chest forward, sink the shoulders back, draw the belly button in. Find our drishti point, so our point of focus, something to still the pose and calm the mind. And again, a great pose to come into if things are a little bit hectic, or if the mind is kind of going a little bit crazy. It just really centers you back into the moment. It's also a lovely way of strengthening the legs, the ankles. Really good for stability, the core, hips. One of the magical poses. So again, just enjoy hanging out here. And again, if you fall out, just come back in. So the nice thing about balance poses is that we can all improve and work on them. So there's some poses just aren't as accessible, but our balance ones really are all about practice and patience. So a really good life lesson with our tree pose. One more breath here. Excellent. And then slowly bring that left knee forward. We're going to release and let it go. Shake it out. Nice and easy. And we're going to come back how we started, sitting back onto the heels. And we'll finish with 3 nice active closing breaths. Again, if this is particularly uncomfortable, feel free to take any other seated variation. We're going to open the palms, and when you're ready, inhale the arms out, reach it up, interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out, and let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. Nice big stretch, and release. Last one. And then gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your morning or in your day to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely energy, and hopefully take that with you into the day ahead. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.